we're at the Diaspora Conference, where there's been so much of a buzz of activity, so many things taking place, a number of exciting presentations. And we have with us the president of JAMPRO, Diane Edwards. JAMPRO is the government's investment agency, an agency that has been playing a very significant role in Jamaica's economic development. I'm Ian Boyne. Good to have you on the program, Dan. Your own assessment of this conference.
I think it's been very exciting. I think there is a real buzz. I think people are engaged, they're excited, they're motivated to be home. And I think that there is really a warm feeling in the room. Having lived abroad myself for over 16 years, I thought, wow, there's just so much energy and enthusiasm for Jamaica still among our diaspora. Because in the end, this is home. No matter how long you live abroad, this is home. And even if for many people I know who are not born here, this is still home. It symbolizes that warm feeling of being yourself and being where you want to be.
How do we tap more into the potential of the diaspora in terms of investments, in terms of increasing trade? I know years ago at JAMPRO there was the trade councils concept, where there were Jamaicans in important capitals of the world who operated as our trade councils. What more can we do, Dan, to draw on that human capital in the diaspora?
I think we need to reach out in a different way. I think this conference is a part of that. I think we need to reach people in a really human way. What we want is to connect with that emotional. Brands talk about building an emotional connection, and it is that emotional connection that we need to build with descendants of Jamaica. And that's what we are working on in JAMPRO. For instance, we have use social media, and if you want to engage with millennials in particular, you've got to use social media. So we've started a blog. We encourage people to contribute to that blog, diaspora people to contribute to that blog, as well as local people. And we are on Twitter, Instagram, all of the social media, LinkedIn, all of them, so that we can communicate with people virtually. But it's also, I think, about taking our message out to more people, and also, I think, a different style of engagement. In other words, young people want to know that Jamaica is a sophisticated, happening place where they can come, plug in, and get into what the fabric of the society, what's really going on here. They're not so big on the sort of superstructures that we have developed, the councils and the group community things. We need to build communities in a different way. We need to look at more virtual communities and more connected communities, but connected around things of interest, commonalities. So the Israelis have done it very well, the New Zealanders have done it very well, the Scottish have done it very well. So those are the three models that we are really looking at for inspiration of how do we create communities around a particular interest. So there's community around technology, there's community around agriculture. People have different interests, and that's what we need to do.
Does JAMPRO target as a discrete, specific group Jamaicans in the diaspora? Do you have sessions with them overseas the way you would target foreign investors?
We do to a certain extent, but what we've found is that the diasporans or descendants who would do business with Jamaica are often very blended into their host country. So they are not in the diaspora organizations, and that's what I mean about a different means of connecting with people. So you have to connect with them where they live and where their interest is. So if you look at someone like Kingsley Chin, who was just on our panel, Dr. Kingsley Chin is a doctor, and he's first and foremost a doctor. So we connected with a whole group of diasporans in Atlanta and in Washington on a medical tourism mission. We connected with doctors because their interest is medicine and medical tourism. We connect with people who are in finance because they're in finance, but we don't connect with them primarily because they're diaspora, although they are diaspora, if you see what I mean.
Understand.
So it's going to where people's interests lie and creating that community around the interest and showing them that, hey, medical tourism is an opportunity in Jamaica.
And as I sat and listened to Dr. Chin, I thought how excited you must be, because the last time when you came on the show and spoke about medical tourism, we got so many favorable responses. People were so excited about the possibilities that you spoke about through medical.
And he's doing it.
Yeah,
he's doing it. And
it.
he's actually at Andrews Memorial has built up this whole new ward. That's what he's working on now. And he has inventions that help back problems, particularly slip discs and those kind of common back problems. So it's very exciting. And one of the people whom we wanted to have on the program is Conrad Curlew, who has G West Medical Center in Montego Bay, which is full with several different medical disciplines. And many of them are returning residents, like the ones who set up the dialysis center in G West in Montego Bay. So there's a huge interest in this area. We just need to capitalize on it. I need more people in the foreign market to work on this.
Because studies have been done for a long time to show the tremendous potential of Jamaica as a location for medical tourism.
Absolutely, and our neighbors are doing very well with it. Thank you very much. I mean, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Mexico, Costa Rica, where I was a couple of weeks ago, they have done extremely well. We're late to the party, but we have to do it bigger and better.
We spoke also when the last time we chatted here about the potential in terms of the provision of legal services. I don't know what has happened since, whether we want to talk a little bit more about that in terms of investment.
We have one lady who is actually, she has the Law College of the Americas in New Kingston, and she is doing some legal process outsourcing. So we actually have a plan to go and talk to the Bar Association as well. We haven't gotten around to it yet, but we will, because that is a natural. I mean, we have one big BPO operation here owned by a Jamaican who is doing really successful work. He's up to about 1,000 people or close to.
Wow. And I know that JAMPRO is particularly interested in Jamaica's moving up the value chain in BPO.
Critical. And you heard Odetta Rockhead Carr tonight, this morning, talking about the need to move up that value chain, because otherwise the low-end jobs will be replaced by robots, and that's the critical element. So what we are working on now is some really exciting new projects which are going to do things like data analytics. So that's going to require a higher level of skill. So what we really need is to show our young people that outsourcing is not just about answering the phone, because
not call centers.
No, it's not. It's actually about customer service, legal, HR, finance and accounting, and you have to have skills. So I keep saying you have to have the skills. So we need our young people to upskill.
Good. And the special economic zones also provide a significant area of potential growth. Certainly our move into a more logistics-centered economy opens up a lot of opportunities.
Well, I'm dying for these SEZ regulations to be out, I'll be honest. But they are about to be published. So certainly in the next month, we should see them published. And then all those people that we have now waiting in the wings with their investments will now know what regulations they're going to operate under, and they'll be ready to start their operations.
Good. Finally, Diane, how is Jamaica looking in terms of its investment profile and its whole attraction of investment since 2017?
Well, you just saw in my presentation that we were named #1 for business friendliness in the Latin American and Caribbean region, which I think is pretty big.
That's big.
And for connectivity, we were in the top 10. So these are critical indices. Accolades and indices that we are gaining. So I think we are really in a very good place. I mean, the macro indicators are good. The interest that we're getting from investors is extraordinary. I mean, even on the medical tourism, we have 2 other projects now that are not yet ready to be spoken about, but we're working hard on them, and these are going to be really transforming the landscape in Jamaica. So watch this space.
Exciting things happening in Jamaica in terms of investment, in terms of our economic prospects. And we've just been speaking to Diane Edwards, who is the president of JAMPRO. We thank you for your company. Until we meet next time, this is Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.